Ozark Highlands Radio is brought to you by the Ozark Folk Center State Park in Mountain View, Arkansas. A wonderful way to enjoy yesterday. On the web at ozarkfolkcenter.com. And by Stone Bank, a community bank supporting entrepreneurs and farmers nationwide with loans guaranteed by the USDA, SBA, and Farm Services Agency. Learn more at stonebank.com. And the Arkansas Arts Council, empowering the arts for the benefit of all Arkansans. On the web at arkansasarts.org. And by the Committee of 100 for the Ozark Folk Center, preserving Ozark folk culture since 1974 through music roots, craft apprenticeships, and the Heritage Herb Garden. Learn more at ofc100.org.
Hey everybody, this is Dave Smith, host of Ozark Highlands Radio. Welcome to our show. This week we have a terrific doubleheader for you, featuring Nashville songwriter Antsy McClain singing hilarious songs about his home at the Pineview Heights Trailer Park, and harp-guitarist Muriel Anderson, one of the finest guitar players you'll ever hear. Historian Charlie Sandage will inform us about the history of the White River Line, and of course I'll be visiting with my old pal Mark Jones down in the vault. All that this week on Ozark Highlands Radio. We've recently had a visit from a singer-songwriter from Tennessee named Antsy McClain. Antsy brings his unique blend of music and humor with heart to the stage, combining his own original songs with a hilarious slideshow, including Antsy's own life observations, social commentary, and imaginary sponsors from his hometown trailer park of Pineview Heights. Here he is on our stage.
Back in your chairs and ready for an evening of entertainment. Muriel Anderson coming out here in a bit to wow you with her musical prowess, and me to not do any of that at all. But I want you to put your hands together now. Be my rhythm section if you would. Right there, come on. See, I didn't even have to coach you. Y'all are good here in the Ozarks. Okay, some of you are lagging. Some of you are slowing down a little bit. Just pick it. There. That's nice. All right. She had her eyebrows plucked thinner than a razor's edge. She smelled like popcorn, Quaker State, and lemon pledge. She had her head on my shoulder, was fitting just right. There must have been a dozen parties going on that night. And she said, Antsy, let's stay right here and veg. I said, all right. I remember full moon nights in Pineview Heights, the buzz of the cicadas and the trigger bites, and the city lights glowing beyond the trees, the smell of lake water riding on the breeze. Yeah, those were the happiest times of my life in Pineview Heights. That's right, in Pineview Heights. That's cool. It's a verse and a chorus. I think that's plenty of clapping. Thank you guys very much. You hung right in there, man. You were going to go the whole song, weren't you? Yeah, it's my man right there. Well, I was raised in an American-made single-wide mobile home. Give me an amen, cousins. There I was looking at the world through the bay window of a single-wide trailer. We lived in 3 trailer parks and 1 trailer court, although I never understood the distinction. Although a trailer court sounds like a place where bad trailers go to be judged. But there I was looking at the world and just started writing as I got old enough to hold a pen and start figuring life out a little bit. I started making up songs, and here I am, sharing my music across this great nation and sometimes into Europe and Canada. All right. Only in America can you imagine neighborhoods where there are homes on wheels. This place is so big, it's so vast, it's so diverse. That's what we have. We had our rugged pioneers crossing our fruited plains in search of their own nirvana. in their covered wagons, putting all their belongings in those covered wagons and packing their kids up and saying, all right, we're moving across the plains. As America evolved, so did the covered wagon. Called mobile homes, or RVs now, these little vehicles collect in communities called trailer parks. I was a knock-kneed schoolboy, I couldn't have been more than 9. When I saw her after recess standing in the lunch line. Well, it was love at first sight, sounds corny I guess, but I was looking at an angel in a gunny sack dress. Oh yeah, Miss Abernathy looked fine, yes she did. I remember full moon nights in Pineview Heights, the buzz of the cicadas and the trigger bites, and the city lights glowing beyond the trees, the smell of lake water riding on the breeze. Yeah, those were the happiest times of my life. Pineview Heights. Yeah, sing it with me. Pineview Heights. Sing with me, cousins. Come on now. Pineview Heights. That sounds pretty. One more time. Pineview Heights. Well, you know it ain't good to be living in the past. Look at what we're missing when we run too fast. You spend too much time in the rear view mirror. Gonna miss everything we got going right here. Right here in Pineview Heights. Right here in Pineview Heights. Right here in Pineview Heights. I'm gonna fade out like on the album. Pineview Heights. Right here.
Yeah, I'm releasing my 15th album in August, and I got a late start at this. I started when I was like 30. This has been a dream of mine since I was 32 years old. That's what I say. It is a late start. Yeah, it is. I was raising a family, and I was working in another job that I just love, as a graphic artist. I've done some stuff with Muriel on some of her things, but it's like. I loved that job, and I loved it all along, and music is sort of a hobby that got out of hand for me. And I was just playing music with my friends and hanging out in the kitchen after dinner, and it gets you out of doing the dishes, and so we're like, just one thing led to another. I ended up in Nashville and got this songwriting deal and a record deal and all this, and I was like, it just happened in a couple of years, going from playing in my living room to actually traveling and opening up for Brooks and Dunn and, and hanging out on Willie's bus. And
yeah, I was nicknamed Antsy as a child because my parents could not afford Ritalin. And you've probably said this too. You hear people say this all the time. We didn't know we were poor when we were growing up. You said that. I had my suspicions. Really, all I had to do was look around, really. You had to be stupid not to realize just how poor we were. And so I thought, well, I'm going to write what I know. And so I started writing songs about life in a more simpler way, living simply and working hard. And that's the kind of stuff that I write. And the occasional love song, which I'd like to do for you right now. How many lovebirds do we have here tonight? Do we have some lovebirds? All right, good to see it. All right. Hold me now, 'cause I just might fall apart without your arms around me, like duct tape on my heart. Holy cow. Don't yell at me that way. Your sweet talk made me love you, but Prozac made me stay. That's right. Oh, watch the elbows out there now. Come on, don't be elbowing if I wasn't so medicated, I'd pack my bags and go. But every time I get up to leave, the room spins real slow and gets faster till I sit down and all the voices go away. And I'm back inside my happy place where everything's okay. Everybody now, hold me now, 'cause I just might fall apart without your arms around me. Like what? Oh, you guys are quick. Holy cow, don't yell at me that way. Your sweet talk made me love you, but everybody now, Prozac made me stay. All right, come on, guys. Oh, it's just me up here. The world is warm and squishy and all covered up with fuzz. And I forgot where I was. Oh yeah, the world is warm and squishy and all covered up with fuzz. Loving you is easy, darling, when I got this Prozac buzz. Everybody now, hold me now, 'cause I just might fall apart without your arms around me. Sing it with me now. That's good. Holy cow, don't yell at me that way. Your sweet talk made me love you, but everybody, Prozac made me stay. Thank you very much. I'm making up for lost time now, because I was a former minister, a preacher, missionary, you know.
Really?
For,
Oh, you did
in
an
another
opposite.
lifetime.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I'm like,
No kidding.
yeah, did an about face there.
Wow.
Yeah,
That is a
having a
odd
ball.
reversal.
I highly recommend this. Any preachers or ministers out there listening? No, life is good, and it's. We were talking about this earlier. Life is short, and it's just getting shorter. And I'm a lot less uptight, and I'm enjoying my life more. And I don't have some of the hang-ups that might befall us as we over-examine our lives and our time here, and that's what I was guilty of. And I'm not saying that's everybody's. Some people can walk that path and make it work, and it's good, and find that balance, you know. Remember those field trips we went on when we were kids? The bus driver would take us to another county sometimes, and we'd never been there. We never thought we'd ever go that far out of town, and it was such an adventure. I was on a tour bus with my band, and we were driving down the road, and the school bus passed us, all these kids squealing and arms out the windows, although I'm sure they were told not to. And we just started talking about all the field trips we went on when we were kids, and I went to the back of the bus and I wrote this song. I'm a man on a mission, I'm uptown cool. Buses are lining up outside of my school. Got my Johnny Quest lunchbox, a pair of new corduroy pants. I got a kiss from my mama and $1 from my dad. I'm Brill cream slick and I'm buttoned down plaid. Take my seat on the bus with my best friends, Donnie and Lance. Going on a field trip. We're going on a field trip. We're like Lewis and Clark. We got the world at our feet and our hair blowing in the wind. Going on a field trip. Going on a field trip. Yeah, we're going on a field trip. settle down. But man, I've never ventured this far out of town. I couldn't be more on fire if I was flying to the moon. Jessica Harris keeps giving me the eye. I should have sat beside her, but I'm second grade shy, and my thermos is leaking. I hope we get to Copper Falls soon. Going on a field trip. Yeah, we're going on a field trip. We're like Lewis and Clark. We got the world at our feet and our hair blowing in the wind. Going on a field trip. Yeah, we're going on a field trip. We're going on a field trip. Funny thing happens. We grow up. And there we are in caps and gowns looking at each other like, how did we get here? But inside, I think we're all still those kids on a field trip. I'm on a field trip to the Ozarks right now, and I'm having a blast. Isn't this fun? Woo! My wife Dina right there. This is a blast. We're having a great time, and that's what it's all about. Enjoying the ride. Downtown smart and I'm world-worn wise. Every blind corner is less of a surprise than that big yellow bus. It's a long time gone from Copper Falls. I went from too big for my britches to a hunger in my soul. Another boy guilty of the sin of growing old. Never bending rules, let alone breaking any law. Give me one day where it's safe to run away and lose myself. Get me on a bus and feed this wanderlust, and please take me on a field trip. Honey, take me on a field trip. Let's go on a field trip. I wish I could summon that sense of adventure and feel just like a kid again, just like I do here tonight. I'm going on a field trip, going on a field trip. Yeah, we're going on a field trip.
You've been listening to songwriter and humorist Antsy McClain, recorded live at the Ozark Folk Center in Mountain View, Arkansas. In that set, we heard Full Moon Nights in Pineview Heights, Prozac Made Me Stay, and Field Trip. When we come back in a minute, I think I'll head down to the vault for a visit with my buddy Mark Jones. This is Ozark Highlands Radio. Welcome back to Ozark Highlands Radio. I promised earlier today that I would head down to the vault and see what's going on with Mark Jones, so now's the time to do that. Let's go. Mark, wake up.
Huh?
What? Mark, all the times I've been down here, I've never found you asleep until today.
Well, I just kind of wore out. You know, I was up all night last night listening and trying to find some songs that are just really nice. And I run across one, and I ended up, it just kind of put me in a mellow mood.
And off you went.
Off I went.
And what is that song, Mark?
Well, it's Banks of the Ohio.
Ah, good old song. One of those old, I loved her so much I murdered her ballads. Huh? There used to be a lot of those around.
Killed her and got rid of her and all that. But, you know, Dave, what the real treat was is a couple of my friends and your friends were doing it. They were singing the Banks of the Ohio.
Who's that?
Robert and Mary. Oh. At that time, it was Mary Bloomquist.
That's right. Yeah, that would have been probably, from about 1977?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
year. Robert and Mary Gillihan is a real Ozarks love story. Mary met Robert's dad, who was an old-time fiddler, Red Gillihan here, and Red told her she needed to meet his son, Robert. And they got introduced, and by gosh, now they've been married for about 40 years, I'll bet.
I think so.
And they're my bandmates. I'm in a band with them.
Well, that's great, eh?
We've been playing together for a long time. But as a duo, what a great sound Robert and Mary Gillihan have.
They sure do. Their blend, their harmony works great together.
Well, let's listen to the Banks of the Ohio.
All right.
I asked my love to take a walk, just a little way, down beside where the waters flow, down by the banks of the Ohio. Only say that you'll be mine. In our home we'll happy be, down beside where the waters flow, down by the banks of the Ohio. I started home twixt 12 and 1, crying, my God, what have I done? Killed the only woman I've loved, because she would not be my bride. Only say that you'll be mine. In our home we'll happy be, down beside where the waters flow, down by the banks of the Ohio.
Oh, boy. I can see how that would lull you off to sleep. That's a nice, peaceful little song, isn't it?
It is. It's beautiful.
And what a voice Mary had back then. She's still singing fine to this day, but
Yeah.
good to hear that, isn't it?
It really is. That was a piece of a treasure that I found down here.
It is a treasure, and thank you so much, Mark.
Thank you, Dave.
This week's featured artist, Antsy McClain, is a master storyteller with the likes of PBS, NPR, and TED Talks under his belt. Antsy includes humorous and serious songs in his shows. It's this tightrope walk between humor and heart that makes Antsy McClain a true original.
I was talking to a friend of mine, had me up late one night. He was just a big friend of my music. He loves what I do, and he was like, "Man, what can we do to get you famous?" And I was like, "I'm not famous already? What? No?" But I always said, I'm going to keep doing this as long as it's fun. And when it stops being fun, I'll just do it for the money. But the whole notion of what the big time is really funny to me. So I wrote this song in response to my friend who was wanting me to be hitting the big time. A good friend took me to dinner at a high-class restaurant. We got to talking and he asked a question, what it was I really want. Well, I guess I didn't understand his question. What does everybody want? I said, a little happiness and peace of mind. And I said something about daily bread. And he said, no, man, you've been going for years now, playing music and traveling around. Face it, Ants, you ain't getting any younger, and I've seen how the business can get you down. He said, what's it gonna take to hit the big time? What's gotta happen to take that bow? I took another bite of my chicken fried steak. I said, what makes you think I'm not there now? I'm playing in the Ozarks, man. I told him about all the people I meet, folks like you who make it all worthwhile. I named my children and the friends I've made. I look out here and it makes me smile. The weekend comes and I grab this guitar and this crazy big time thing begins. Every night I'm throwing a party with a room full of my closest friends. Just how much more could my life hold? If I was a miner, I'd done struck gold. I couldn't be having a bigger time than this. If this ain't the big time, what is? Well, if you think the big time is playing arenas or being on television every night, riding in a limo, living in a mansion, and having my songs sell more Bud Light, man, that stuff would just drive me crazy. Ducking paparazzi at the Holiday Inn, money and fame and a washboard stomach, it's the devil in the deep blue sea, my friend. And I'll stay here under the radar, with shooting stars going over my head. As long as you'll have me, I'll be right here, singing my songs for my daily bread. Yeah, there are times I've been frustrated. You know, everybody is. It ain't no big deal. This is my dream, and you're all here in it. And I thank you all for making it real. Making it real. Just how much more could my life hold? If I was a miner, I'd done struck gold, yeah. I couldn't be having a bigger time than this. If this ain't the big time, what is? Playing my music here to a bunch of new friends, yeah. If this ain't the big time, what is? Thank you. Thank you very much.
Probably at CAS,
Yes.
Chet Atkins Appreciation Society in Nashville.
Yeah, a lot of us meet through this very informal group.
Yeah.
Really,
Yeah.
the Chet Atkins Appreciation Society meets once a year in Nashville in July. And people who love Chet's music get together and find that we make a lot of lifetime friends there.
Absolutely.
And Antsy's one of them.
Yeah, I'm not a guitar picker. when I was 14, I wasn't one of those kids who wanted to be Chet Atkins. I was wanting to be like Jim Stafford or some crazy songwriter guy, Roger Miller, that kind of thing. So that's where I gravitated toward. So when I'm meeting Muriel and Tommy Emmanuel and Edgar Cruz and Pete Huttlinger and these folks that were at this guitar festival, it like opened up this whole world to me. I soon found out that guitar players like songwriters and songwriters love guitar players. We need each other. It's a symbiotic kind of thing. So I just started hanging out. I was getting better just by kind of hanging out with them. A better guitar player, but also a better storyteller, a better songwriter. It just really opened a vein for me.
In the shadow of the golden arches stands a cold and empty store. Mom and Pop first opened up back in 1944. Serving ice cream sodas, they had a bell above the door. Homemade pie and coffee, a black and white tile floor. But Mom and Pop don't work here no more. Well, there used to be more flavor in this country that I roam, but I feel like I'm a stranger, no place to call my home. I can eat the same cheeseburger from New Mexico to Maine, the same darn cup of coffee, just a link in someone's chain. No, Mom and Pop don't work here no more. Just bury me on Main Street on the south side of the square, outside an old-time diner, if you can still find one there, where the waitress calls you darling, even though she knows your name, and you'll leave a better man than when you came. Did our forefathers see it coming? Are they rolling in their grave? No, that's just the bulldozers. They got a parking lot to pave, 'cause they're putting in another strip mall. More outlet stores, how nice. Last year's sweatshop clothing at a fraction of the price. No, Mom and Pop don't work here no more. Well, just bury me on Main Street on the south side of the square, underneath the big marquee, and you could put these words up there. Here lies the son of everyone made casualties of this war. No, Mom and Pop don't work here no more. No, Mom and Pop don't work here no more. I said Mom and Pop don't work here no more.
I've got several of her albums, so I'm familiar, probably more familiar with your stuff than you might be mine. But I mean, the just what we've played around at parties, as I've seen her play something, or she pulls out a harp guitar and everybody gasps and goes, "Yeah, what is that?" I just love that reaction. I see it every time, and so that's, but yeah, we'll wing it, and I think it'll go off.
Yeah,
great.
we never even talked about what we're going to play together.
Perfect. That's the best way to do it.
Yeah,
I think so.
He just arrived here, and I said, "Why don't we play some together?"
Yeah. Well, okay, sure. I'll try. You start something, and I'll jump in however I can. I didn't bring my harmonicas. That would have been the thing to do, because
No.
I can accompany that. I don't really accompany with guitar. I would
Well, we'll find
I
out
would
today.
drag you down the mud so fast.
Well, we'll find out.
That's right.
Yeah, we sure will.
When I sing, you can hear a little bit of James Taylor. When I play, you can hear a little bit of Neil Young. When I walk, you can see a little bit of my father. And if you listen, you can hear my family's southern tongue. When I paint, I hear the words of all my teachers about form and color and rendering light and dark. When I dream, I see all those who've gone before me. I'm a patchwork quilt of the people inside my heart. I'm everyone. I'm everyone. I'm every brother, every father, every son. We're everyone. We're everyone. The more we love, the more completed we become. When I sing, you can hear a little bit of Leonard Nimoy. When I, big influence. When I play, you can hear the small town where I'm from. When I dance, I hear the words of my mother. That nervous night before my junior prom. And these songs, they're nothing more than journal entries. They're just footprints in the dirt that I'm leaving behind. And your guess is as good as mine where this road is leading. But you're all there when my blessings come to mind. Yes, you are. I'm everyone. I'm everyone. I'm every brother, every father, every son. We're everyone. We're everyone. The more we love, the more completed we become. Sing with us. Here we go. I'm everyone. I'm everyone. I'm every brother, every father, every son. We're everyone. We're everyone. The more we love, the more completed we become. The more we love, the more completed we become.
That was songwriter, author, and humorist Antsy McClain with what I consider to be one of his finest songs, I Am Everyone, which was preceded by Big Time and Mom and Pop Don't Work Here No More. Let's take a short break. Coming up next, Charlie Sandage will present a historical portrait of the White River line of the Ozarks. You're listening to Ozark Highlands Radio. Welcome back to Ozark Highlands Radio. Our friend Charlie Sandage is a musician, songwriter, and a dedicated student of folk music history. Here's Charlie.
The Mountain View Trio, called Harmony, in the opening verses of a song called Nellie's Apron, sings about the travails inherent in building a railroad through the rugged Ozark Hills.
You can build you a railroad down through the town or out on a bottomland bed. But if you build your line on the mountainside, then you gotta have a hole in your head. Now the White River line deep in the Ozarks clung to the river bank. But every time that a river came up, the roadbed washed and sank. So haul that gravel from the Buffalo Shoals, we'll need another load, no doubt. But keep your eye on Nellie's front porch for when she hangs her apron out.
We'll get back to Nellie and her apron later on. Right now, let's talk about a stretch of the St. Louis, Iron Mountain, and Southern Railroad, otherwise known as the White River Line. Railroad building in Arkansas was an on-again, off-again proposition throughout the mid to late 19th century. In 1804, when the land that would become Arkansas first came into the hands of the adolescent United States of America, an adventurer into the region would encounter either a dense swampland or a rough mountainscape, depending on whether they entered from the north or from the south. Neither a promising prospect for railroad building. Terrain, politics, greed, and mismanagement left the new state with very little rail in place before the Civil War, and a dozen years afterward, only around 300 miles of track had been laid. By the turn of the century, though, the state was in a railroad building frenzy. The St. Louis, Iron Mountain, and Southern had representatives in the Arkansas Pavilion of the 1904 St. Louis World's Fair. That's the one the song was about. Meet me in St. Louis, Louis, meet me at the fair, with pamphlets describing Arkansas as a Garden of Eden awaiting the arrival of new residents to unlock its potential. It was a transformative period in Arkansas. One example of the immediate impact railroad building would have is the way it brought to halt a plan 60 years in the making to build locks on the upper White River to accommodate steamboat traffic. George Langford, professor emeritus at Lyon College in Batesville, explains.
By the time they were building Lock 3, they saw a lot of activity over on the bank, and they realized they're laying track over there alongside the river. And what goes on the track, of course, is the brand new railroad, which was going to go all the way up the White River Valley. Well, that ended the great project to create a perfect river because it brought the steamboat era to a rapid halt.
Immigrant laborers from Eastern Europe and from Greece and Italy were brought in to supplement the sparse local labor supply. And by 1906, the White River Line stretched diagonally across the Ozarks from Carthage, Missouri to Batesville, Arkansas. Suddenly, sleepy, isolated Ozark towns were wide awake.
Now Nellie kept a boarding house up near the Buffalo Shoals, where the boys loaded gravel and hewed cross ties and sawed out cedar fence poles, where they blasted away through the limestone bluff and we laid those steel rails down, and the boys hauled the saw logs down from the hills and we shipped them off to town.
There's that Nellie again. Well, we'll get to that. Calico Rock, just upriver from Mountain View in the Ozark Folk Center, had an experience that was similar to a number of tiny Ozark communities along the route of the new railroad. It had begun as a steamboat landing on the upper White River, but became a regular boom town in 1902 as a rail construction headquarters. It was the county's largest town until well into the 1960s. Greek and Italian worker camps sprang up, then left, leaving behind at least one cultural artifact. It's been told that grocery shelves in the small town's stores featured a distinctly Mediterranean flavor for years afterward. The last passenger service on the White River Line was a tourist excursion between Calico Rock and the town of Flippin up the river. It operated through the most recent turn of the century with performances by area musicians, including members of the trio known as Harmony, among its features. No passenger trains ply the White River route these days, but freight cars still add unexpected counterpoint to the sounds of this area's otherwise mostly still nights. The St. Louis, Iron Mountain, and Southern eventually became, in turn, part of the Missouri Pacific and then the Southern Pacific. Oh, Nellie. Here's the rest of that story.
Looky there, boys, it's Nellie's apron. She's piling them biscuits high. There's chicken and gravy and butter beans, and I bet there's a sweet tater pie.
Seems that Nellie's steamboat landing boarding house took on new life when the railroad workers showed up. When she hung her apron out on the front porch, dinner was on the table.
So mind your step when the timber falls, when they blast that rock, no doubt. But if you want to save your hide, don't stand in the way when Nellie hangs her apron out. Looky there, boys, it's Nellie's apron. I'll be there first if I can. There's ham and beans and mustard greens and a cobbler hot in the pan. There's easier work on down the line, but I'm gonna stay right here. And you can bet when Nellie hangs her apron out, I'm gonna be somewhere near. One of the world's foremost fingerstyle guitarists and harp guitarists, Muriel Anderson is the first woman to have won the National Fingerstyle Guitar Championship. Let's finish this week's show with 3 lovely pieces we recorded when she returned to our stage this past summer.
Thank you. Let's see, this one is called Summer Morning Rain. It was Merle Travis that first captured me. That's right, when my guitar teacher gave me those Travis tunes. If that doesn't make you want to play guitar, what does? But we always sang all those old songs around the house. And I listened to my grandfather's 78s. Festival right here at the Ozark Center, right? I figured I was about 8 when I got my first guitar. And then I heard the music of Doc Watson. Country picker from North Carolina. Was all over. I just ran home from school to listen to that record, try to learn every song. And then I met Chet Atkins. He wrote this one, Happy Again. This one in the kitchen of Chet's office, The Claw by Jerry Reed. I was playing with a bluegrass band at the time. I got to meet a lot of my heroes. Thank you.
The incredibly talented Muriel Anderson. We heard her play Amorabile Waltz, Summer Morning Rain, and her Guitar Masters Medley. You can find out more about this week's musicians, Antsy McClain and Muriel Anderson, by searching them on the web. And you can find out more about us, too, and listen to past shows by going to ozarkhighlandsradio.com. For all of us here at Ozark Highlands Radio, this is Dave Smith. Have a great week.
Ozark Highlands Radio is produced by Jeff Glover. Executive producer is Darren Dorton. Additional support for this program comes from Arkansas State Parks, a division of the Arkansas Department of Parks, Heritage, and Tourism, with 52 unique reasons to visit the natural state. On the web at arkansasstateparks.com. The Committee of 100 proudly supporting the Ozark Folk Center State Park since 1974. And by Stone Bank with roots in Mountain View, Arkansas. Stone Bank is a proud supporter of heritage musicians and small towns across America, with government-guaranteed loans for farmers, entrepreneurs, and communities. More information available at stonebank.com. For information on upcoming shows and events, we are on the web at ozarkhighlandsradio.com. Until next time, I'm Donna Farrar.